On this episode, we review EPCOT's International Festival of the Holidays. Today is November 29th, 2022, and this is episode 517 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. Then if you hit that subscribe button, you're going to get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And we know how frustrating it can be when you're trying to get those dining reservations at Disneyland or Walt Disney World, but have no fear because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. And this definitely works. They have been an absolute lifesaver for our Christmas trip coming up here in just a few short weeks. If you visit msmfriends.com, you can use this free service. Then if you're getting ready to plan that next Disney or Universal vacation, you're looking to go on a cruise or pretty much travel anywhere else in the world, head to mainstmagictravel.com, fill out a form for a free quote. Our travel services are completely free to you. We are just a little bit over 2 months from our Main Street 16 annual challenge, which is February 2nd to 5th this year, and you can book at the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista Tower for 40% off the normal rate and a half-priced resort fee. If you head to mainstreet16.com, you can learn more about the entire weekend. You can buy tickets for Friday's event. You can register for Saturday's challenge, which is free. You just will need park reservations, and you can go ahead and book that room at the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista.
So today we are talking about EPCOT Festival of the Holidays, and we are fresh off the trip as literally we just got back. It's Thanksgiving weekend, so it did take us an extra 30 minutes to get home. Everybody's going home.
Yeah, they really were. But we had a great trip. We went down Saturday morning, now recording on Sunday afternoon as soon as we got back. And so we wanted to go down. We wanted to check out the festival booths, kind of, go over all this stuff. So what we're going to do is, because we're there for a very limited time, so we're going to discuss not only things that we had yesterday, but we'll also discuss some of the stuff that we've done in the past, because we just didn't see a reason to repeat certain dishes
it's always
that
good.
we know.
And then sometimes we actually did repeat last night and at America.
Yes. And
again, it's so nice to know that even though we repeated, that everything's still really good.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get the disappointments out of the way.
Are you going right into food?
Well, no, more of the merchandise.
Merchandise. All right, let's start with... Well, first of all, just real quick before you jump into that, this runs November 25th through December 30th. It is not long enough. And
yeah, I agree.
I will say we ran into our buddy Zach in the parks, and one of the things he had told me even prior, because he was there the day before us, was that he didn't realize it was their first International Festival of the Holidays. They didn't realize how sweet heavy it was.
Yeah.
But I told them, I was like, man, last year, years prior to 2021, we've never really been impressed with this festival as far as food and stuff goes. Last year, I feel like took a turn. And I feel like they're finally putting more focus into the food and the quality and the offerings, and that it's gotten really, really good. Mm-hmm. It's a shame it only runs November 25th through December 30th. This is one of those where, honestly, I would love to see them maybe back off of food and wine a little bit, and maybe that doesn't run as long, and this starts November 1st. This starts the day after Halloween when they start decorating the parks, that they start the International Festival of the Holidays. So we were there on day 2.
Yes.
But let's get into, this year's disappointment. And I don't know that anything could have lived up to last year's merchandise. As you're wearing some of last year's, we've got a blanket out there. This year was disappointing, wasn't
it? Not for me. I think it made me laugh because Chuck was Marchetti was disappointed because there was no pass holder merch, which last year Jeremy has this awesome thin long sleeve hoodie that is pass holder, and I absolutely love it. And
it was funny because it was a running joke all day about them not having the pass holder shirt, but Chuck and I are very similar in the fact that we love pass holder stuff, and it's, I don't know what it is about it. I mean, I always, if there's something that has a bit of exclusiveness to it. I think people just tend to draw towards it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times their pass holder specific stuff is really good stuff. And I really, really like it. You know what I mean? We're not buying just to buy. It's not like, oh, that says pass holder, I have to have it.
Right.
We buy it because they make really good stuff.
Right. And you have to like it. We did get a pass holder Sven pin that is super cute. It's a snow globe, and it's kind of hard to see them actually.
You almost can't. And it doesn't, the snow doesn't really settle. So that part's kind of interesting.
Maybe we should have picked a different one.
And they do have, again, this year.
It's like sugar.
They have, again, this year, which we've always loved and we've collected in the past. I think I've got a few. Yeah, we have a couple other ones behind us here.
Goofy over there.
Not that anyone can see it. But they do these gift cards. And so it's $100 a minimum to activate the card. But with the card, and we got one with Stitch on it, of course, riding a sled. But with the card on top is a limited edition holiday pin.
Yes.
And so basically that pin is free because you're paying the $100. You're getting a $100 gift card. The pin is free. So this has Stitch and Angel on it and a little snow globe. So we had to get that. And then Rhonda already knew immediately that she was going to purchase some merchandise. So it just made sense. She immediately then used the gift card when she went to purchase the merchandise.
Yes.
So what other stuff did they have?
Well, they had the Spirit jersey that is cute, very cute. And I think it said holiday is for sweets or something like that with Olaf. It's thin, normal Spirit jersey. It was cute. But
they had the long sleeve shirt with Sven and Olaf.
Yeah, that was cute.
That was, I liked it, but I wish it had only one splash of color to it. Everything else was basically like outlined, hand drawn black on a darker gray shirt. So I just think it just didn't pop. I wish everything would have been full color, and I think I maybe would have actually gotten it.
Yeah, maybe. Well, and this was day 2, and a lot of times they do come out with some things that maybe didn't get here in time or whatever. So we'll see in 2 weeks. But they also, for the holiday cookie stroll, their cookie jar this year was part of just the Christmas like decor and stuff, but it was in the holiday merch, but it doesn't say anything on it. It just has
huge
cookies. It is big, and it is $55.
Yeah, for folks that don't know or don't remember, so 4 years ago they started the cookie stroll, and along with it they had an international festival of the holidays specific to each year on it and everything, small cookie jar. And we have collected all 4 of them. We love them. We break them out during the holidays. One of them gets cat treats. One of them gets dog treats. One of them is holding your coffee for the mornings. Like, I love these things. And we would literally buy it first thing. And as we collected the cookies throughout the day, we'd shove them into the jar. And they were smaller. They, maybe had a base circular of, 5 inches across or something. And we really loved them. And I was so looking forward to this year and was just disappointed that they didn't have it. And yes, they just had a giant ceramic cookie jar that was just holidays driven, but it was not specific to the festival.
Right. And I'd be scared to
I wouldn't want to carry that thing around all day.
Yeah. It's heavy and it's
very.
I joked about we should have just got the Spaceship Earth.
I know.
Cookie
They
jar.
still got the Spaceship Earth cookie.
Yeah.
I do want that before time is up.
Yeah.
And I also like the castle one. I just don't know where we're going to put all this stuff. But let's talk about Olaf's holiday tradition expedition scavenger hunt.
Okay. It is as all the years before, and I absolutely love him, but it is Olaf doing the traditions just like in the Olaf, the TV show or the show, Olaf's holiday tradition, where he goes and he gets all these things from different people. And so you go around and you find them, and he'll have something on his sled like candy canes or Chinese lanterns, and you have to find them in all the countries. And it's so funny because he is so stinking cute. And Jeremy,
about a foot tall, probably somewhere 12 to 15 inches tall.
I don't know.
They'll be anywhere in the countries from up on a rooftop to like in Germany, he's actually inside a window. So you do have to look around. We've always said in the past, we love these festival hunts and scavenger hunts because it really makes you slow down a bit. and
Yeah.
take your time. It's great for kids, of course. This is
yeah.
a great way to keep kids entertained while you're eating and drinking all around World Showcase. But yeah, I think that if Disney took each of these little Olafs on his sled and made an ornament out of them and sold them at each of the festival booths or in each of the countries, they could make a killing. And I'd be
Mhm.
hard pressed to not buy every single one of them.
And that
like-
would be a lot.
Yeah, because how many spots are there
Let's see.
total throughout? Because not only do you have it in every country, but you're basically having it wrapped around every food booth.
13.
So 13 different Olafs for you to spot. We only got about halfway through.
We did.
Well, this is $9.99. You can get a pass holder discount.
Yep.
And then what do you do when it is complete, or what can you just do immediately if you don't want to actually complete it?
You can get your holiday keepsake redemption, and it is this year. They said a coin purse,
A little
keychain
coin purse. Yeah.
Yep.
One with Olaf. You have your selection. One with Olaf, one with Sven, and then there's one with Anna and Elsa.
Yes.
So we will trade this in. We'll finish this and trade this in 2 weeks when we're back to see Josh Gad, which is super fitting because he is Olaf.
Mhm.
So that will be awesome. Something else you can do for your entertainment is Joyful, a celebration of the season. This is experiencing the joy of Christmas and Kwanzaa. This is gospel, R&B, and holiday songs of the Joyful Ensemble. This is happening daily at World Showcase Plaza, right up front there, 115, 220, 325, 4:30. They're super good.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't stop to like really watch them or anything, but we could hear them through
Yeah.
passing by, and it's just a great time to take a break one of these show times and just sit for a little bit, get yourself a snack or a drink, and just enjoy them because they're absolutely incredible. Then throughout the different pavilions in Mexico, in Norway, Italy, in the Odyssey, Japan, and between Morocco and France. And then in France as well, you have United Kingdom, Canada. You have these holiday narrators and storytellers, basically. So throughout the holidays, World Showcase comes alive with the legends and lore of the season. Santa is meeting in the Odyssey,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a super, super good-looking Santa. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, that was, yeah. He
That was funny. We were sitting in there, and somebody said Santa, and then some other guy freaked out and was like, "Oh my god!" and scared a bunch of
Yeah.
us.
Well, the Santa came in from outside because he
Yeah.
was on his break or whatever, going to the bathroom or something, and he came in and gave a big ho ho ho.
Yeah.
And it was just a really cool introduction, and yeah, I think it kind of surprised all of us when that one dude freaked out though.
Yeah,
But
it did.
no, it was awesome.
And then when we were getting our drink from France,
Pierre Noel,
I started to say, how do you say his name?
yeah, Pierre Noel is in
Pierre
France,
Noel.
and he's up there. Yeah, he's up on a stage and he's
It
telling
was neat.
that tradition
Yep.
and that story of Santa Claus, who's Pierre Noel in France.
Yep.
So I think that stuff's super cool. What was your main goal and target of this entire day once we still found out that there was no specialty cookie jar?
Well, I still love all the cookies.
I
They're
know.
all really good. So I wanted to get them all.
What's different
So-
this year?
Different this year is there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cookies plus your free cookie when you trade it in. But you only, out of those 8, need to collect 5 for your stamps. And then when you do all that, you can get your free cookie. And this year they gave a awesome little Guardians of the Galaxy Disney Plus pin, and it's the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which we haven't even watched that yet, but I've heard it's amazing and we will watch it later.
I love this pin.
I do too.
Like when you came back with that, because you went to trade in, to get the cookie, the award, which is a small sugar cookie.
Yeah.
It looks like an ornament, and it's frosted on the top with
Yep.
International Festival of the Holidays logo and all. Did not get a beverage this year, correct? Because they used to give
Correct.
you a little bottle of milk to go
Nope.
along with it.
Nope.
But this is prepackaged. It's the only cookie out of all of them, and we'll talk about the cookies as we go through the menu. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, speaking of Cosmic Rewind,
Mhm.
we got day 2 of the holiday overlay.
Yep. Why don't you tell
what-
your thoughts first?
I
Because-
didn't care for it.
I have better thoughts.
You do. I mean, I think you could play a track full of farts over this ride, and it's still going to be an incredible ride.
Okay.
Basically. So I don't think it really takes away from the ride or anything. I was explaining to Aaron what I thought about it because we were texting back and forth because he's got family coming in soon. His dad has never ridden it, and he's like, is it going to ruin the ride for my dad? And what I told him, I said, if you've never ridden it before and you don't know what it can be with some of the other songs, you're not going to know any better. You know, for folks that have now ridden it over a dozen times, we know what it can be with some of those songs. And for me, it just didn't do it. It's a song by the old 97s. It's basically Run Rocket Run in the style of Run Rudolph Run, but it's not super recognizable, which I think for me just detracted a little bit. And I spent the whole time really
too.
Well, I thought it started out almost like dashing through the snow.
I think,
but then, yeah, we walked out of it. I remember, I think I looked at you or I looked at Chuck and I was like, they lied to us. And you're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, Disney had claimed we were getting like a mashup melody of several songs, which I assumed would have been Christmas songs from the 80s, considering that's the time that we're looking at with Peter Quill visiting Epcot as a kid. That's when his soundtrack is from, his Walkman. All those songs are coming basically out of like the 80s, late 70s, things like that. So I thought we were going to get something different. Again, when the girls ride it for the first time, they're not going to know any better. So I know that they'll absolutely love it. I just thought it could have been more.
Well, and, you know, back to Aaron's dad, you know, he knows all of the songs.
Right.
So in that retrospect, I do understand that, yes, it would be sad for somebody writing for the first time that, you know, that, wow, we could have gotten one of these songs that my dad grew up and knows.
Right.
And now it's just this Christmas mashup of, I mean, and it's cute. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. I didn't think it was meh. I didn't think it was awful. I don't think it was amazing where I was like, that was so fun. I want to do it again just to listen to the song. But it was super cool and I enjoyed it. And
well, and here is my other thing. And I understand they're not going to rewrite the entire attraction and they're not going to film new spots and they're not, but what was the point of having a holiday song? It 100% is to sell Disney Plus in the holiday special. That was it, because there was no other change.
Do you think we messed up not watching the holiday special?
I don't think so. I mean, I know the song is going to show up in it because the old 97s are on the soundtrack. I'm pretty sure that's who it was. And for anybody who's listening and has read a bunch or watched point of views, videos already or whatever, we did none of that. Correct. We wanted to go in completely blind. So I did no reading of what exactly was, but I'm pretty sure it was the old 97s. And yeah, this Run Rocket Run. I mean, and at the end you heard Groot saying, I am Groot. And
and you heard Rocket say something about being at the North Pole.
Yeah. It was just weird. It was just, they basically just took a new to us song that corresponds with the holiday special and just slapped it on the ride. There was no other thought put into it whatsoever. There was no other mention. There was nothing about the holidays. I got no ties back to Peter Quill or as a child. This obviously wasn't his favorite Christmas song as a kid, because it didn't exist. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll ride it again next time we go in 2 weeks, just so we can see if my thoughts or anything change. But I really don't believe that you can ruin this ride. I think you could literally put any song to it and you would still be like, I mean, I'm still just smiling ear to ear the whole time. My teeth hurt when I get off this ride because I'm smiling so big and the wind and the air is just hitting me against my teeth, and it dries my like mouth out and throat out every time. I still think this is my favorite attraction I've ever been on.
Yeah, it is fun.
All right. You want to get into some holiday menus?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Let's start with the American holiday table, which is in America. What do we have over here, Rhonda? And what do we enjoy?
Well, we had the slow roasted turkey and Ben's original stuffing, mashed potatoes, green beans, and cranberry sauce for $6.
How is this $6?
I don't know, because it's a very large dish.
It's a lunch.
I forgot how big it was until you brought it back last night. Like it was just, I was like, oh wow. $6. And then they have the blackened catfish with Hoppin' John and comeback sauce, and this is $6.50. And this is what you brought back too from last night, right? And it was good. I really enjoyed it. I actually there was rice with it too.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not big on catfish as far as fish goes, but
it wasn't bad.
If you fry it or blacken it, it is good.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I agree.
And then you got the cookie, of course, from here because you were completing your stroll.
Oh yes, and then it is the chocolate crinkle cookie.
$3 for each of these cookies, which I think, except for the one at Sunshine Seasons, the big M&M one, I believe was $3.49 when we get to there. But $3, they're nice big cookies. This was the prettiest ugly cookie I've ever seen.
Yes.
I mean, it just looked like somebody took like 3 or 4 different cookie doughs that were like left over from a day of baking and mashed them all together. And it was delicious and possibly my favorite cookie of the day. Did you like it?
Oh, yeah. I always like this one.
Yeah.
These are always so good.
Super duper good. So that was cookie number 1. All right. Next, we passed by the Bavaria Holiday Kitchen in Germany, but they do have a pork schnitzel with mushroom sauce, spatzel, and braised red cabbage.
I've had that before.
We've had it in the past,
So good.
and we've enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Very much so. And then they have a cheese fondue in a bread bowl with steamed baby vegetables and marbled potatoes.
We've done that before,
is good
too.
and very hard to beat. Actually, we did stop here because this was another cookie.
Yep, this is a Linder cookie, and I looked at getting the other 2 things, but we weren't really starving at this point, and because literally we've had these before, we just got the Linder cookie, and of course I take a few bites. It's always so good.
It's always good. I love it.
The Linder cookie.
The only thing I didn't like this year was I missed just design wise and look wise, and even the stamp has it. This year it was a small circle cut out in the middle, which you saw kind of the raspberry through, where it used to be a snowflake. I just
had
liked
a lot
that in
more
the past.
Powdered sugar on it as well, whereas this year it was lightly dusted.
So let's move on to something new that we had never had in our 43 years of being alive. We stopped at Chestnuts and Good Cheer. They have cinnamon glazed almonds, cinnamon glazed cashews, cinnamon glazed pecans. They also have chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Yes. Well, it wasn't an open fire but it was
a giant grill.
Yeah.
And then they had a skillet, an upside down cast iron skillet.
Yep.
And then on top of that skillet was another giant skillet with the chestnuts roasting in them. And you go up and they serve them fresh right out of this giant skillet. And then they sprinkle some cinnamon and sugar on them.
Yes.
What did you think? They come in a little bag. Like, this to me took me back in time. Like, just from watching movies or watching like A Christmas Carol or something. Like, this is what I imagine. You walk down the streets and it's snowing outside, and there's a big barrel on the side of the road that a guy's roasting chestnuts in, and he gets out this little paper bag and he fills it up for you and sells them to you for a couple bucks.
Yeah.
That's what it made me feel like, even though it was 85 out. What did you think of them, having never had them before? Served to us by Bubble.
Yeah.
He was the super nicest little old man.
Yeah.
And he explained everything about
everything and how when you literally cook them, they actually make a popping sound and they pop open. And I was like, oh, kind of like an oyster, because it's in a shell and then you have to peel back the shell and everything. And it's like a nut. And he explained it kind of like a potato-y nut type of situation.
Yeah.
I did not hate them. Would I go get them again? Probably not, but I would try them from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it was neat to try them. You did have to pull back and eat the nut, and then when you did all that, you didn't have the cinnamon and sugar really on it.
Yeah, it really didn't get up like inside of the shell. It was all on the outside.
Right.
I found them super dry. Like,
it's very funny.
Super duper dry. And
good thing we got the not the fire nog. Let's see, the eggnog with
screwball peanut butter
whiskey.
Yes, that was delicious.
It was very good.
I didn't get a lot of hint of the peanut butter, but it was just a very good eggnog.
It was.
Like, I actually really liked it. And then is this where you also got the we'll move on to the hot cocoa. That was a different one.
Yep.
We did not do the donut box this year. We've done the croissant donut with cinnamon sugar in the past for $6. We've liked it very much. And they have a gingerbread milkshake with whipped cream vodka for $11.50 that we got last year. Yep. And it is super duper.
And don't forget,
delicious.
We are coming back for Christmas with the girls. Mm-hmm. And I mean, some of these we may specifically go to do and let them get things because we knew there was a few things that we thought they would like.
Oh, for sure. Especially it's somewhere like the donut box.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Holiday Hearth Desserts. This is inside of the Odyssey. Allie got the peppermint bark.
Yeah.
Which is because it's gluten
super
friendly.
Good. Super good. It was all white.
Yes.
We're gonna remake that today.
Yeah, it was very, very good. It was a good size, like bag full too for $6.50.
Yeah.
So and it was hot enough that day that it was required that all of us would combine and join forces and eat all of it.
Yeah.
By the
'cause it
time the day
gonna
was
melt.
done. Gingerbread cookie, part of the cookie stroll.
Yeah.
Talk about this one.
Yeah, it's the same as always. Just a regular gingerbread. He broke in half. I
Yeah.
took a bite of his head.
Yeah, it's an okay
it's
gingerbread
fine.
cookie, but it's not as good as the stuff that they're serving over at Beach Club near the Carousel or over at Grand Flow at the Gingerbread House. It is a much denser gingerbread, and I don't think it packs that same flavor of like spices of getting like the ginger and the cloves, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just doesn't pack a punch.
This reminds me of one that you would literally get a glass of milk with and like dip him in there
Yes.
and then almost like an Oreo type thing.
100%.
So
Now, what beverage did you get from here?
I did get the actual hot cocoa with peppermint schnapps. And it's called the Cocoa Candy Cane hot cocoa with peppermint schnapps, and it was so good. I don't think I realized it was hot until I kind of tasted it, but it was super good. Then she made this beautiful little whipped cream topping and on top, and then put some crushed peppermint, and it was so pretty.
Yeah, she was sweet.
She was, and it was super good. Super good. I enjoyed it.
Did she pour the hot
Yes.
chocolate just straight out of a thing, or did she make it like in front of you? Because this tasted straight up
Well,
homemade hot chocolate,
she
not from like a
poured-
powder.
She poured the liquor separately, so it was not that
Okay.
was something that was already mixed together.
Okay. All right.
So-
Because they have a non-alcoholic hot cocoa there as well, so
Right.
that's basically what they're doing. But it tasted absolutely delicious. We did not stop at Holiday Sweets and Treats, but this is just loaded basically with beverages. They do have a hot cocoa with assorted alcohol that you can get. You can get an Irish cream, a Frangelico would be so good, or Rhonda's favorite, Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. They do have a chocolate peppermint shake featuring Twinings peppermint cheer tea and whipped cream vodka. That might be one that I want to do next time. And any of these, the hot cocoa or the chocolate peppermint shake, which is non-alcoholic, would love to do for the girls when we go back for Christmas. All right, we're going to move on to L'Haim Holiday Kitchen. Year after year, you did not get it this year, but you always love the pastrami on rye with the house-made pickles and deli mustard, right? For $5.50.
Yeah, super good. Always good. And I also like usually the potato lox.
Yes. Yeah. But what we did get, and this is usually one of my favorite cookies as well, is which one is that?
Black and
L'Haim.
white cookie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, super good. And, it's just a good glazed white, black and white icing cookie.
Like a sugar style
like a-
cookie, but not heavy on the sugar, I guess. Maybe almost more of like a cakey cookie.
Yes.
I would say.
Yep.
But we love this one year after year, so we knocked another one off the list. And just make sure you get your festival passport and you have them stamp the back. They're usually pretty good about asking. I felt like
Yes,
they really were
they
this
were.
year.
Yeah.
But we have had in years past where we just forgot
Yep.
and they never asked us. And then we found ourselves without a stamp. And I think one time we even went back and like, look, here's the cookie. We haven't eaten it yet.
Yeah.
Can I get the stamp now? And of course they did. One of my favorites year after year is Las Posadas Holiday Kitchen in Mexico. They're usually switching up their savory items every single year at every single festival. 2 new items this year. One of those being a giant tostada de barbacoa. This is braised barbacoa beef on a giant tostada with chipotle black bean puree, salsa verde, queso cojito, crema mexicana, and pickled onion. This is gluten and wheat friendly, and this is $10.50. Then they had a conchinita pibble tamale. This is a corn masa topped with pipián sauce, queso cojito, and crema mexicana. Again, new, gluten and wheat friendly for $8. Thoughts on these, Rhonda? These 2 items.
They were both fantastic.
Yeah, one of the things we're actually talking about, we went live in Wonderland Crew on the way down, and we are kind of just going through this menu. So if this sounds familiar to you, Rhonda, it's because we did this 2 days ago. But we said on that, while the quality in the dishes are great year after year, we feel like Mexico, we've been seeing portions get smaller while prices go up.
Yeah.
But this was a good size
The
tortilla
giant,
and this was
I
actually
just wanna
pretty
say
big, right?
The giant tostada was a very decent size. I was like, oh, it is pretty big. It's not, it is living up to its name.
So, but you liked this? What did you think overall of the flavors and everything
it
with
was
this?
really good. I thought it was good. It was nice, like a little crispy, and you've got all the flavors that go together. I honestly, as weird as it's going to sound, I like the tamale a little bit more because I think once Allie actually said it's almost kind of like a Mexican grit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what it's like. And just the sauce and all that together with it. Now, I really honestly didn't get much of the chicken because the way it was.
Yeah, that was my only gripe about this is there was one large piece of chicken that had been like shredded off. And instead, I wish it would have been like chopped up and been throughout the inside of the tamale. So we were unaware that was all that was in there. So by the time I had some and Allie had some, the chicken was basically almost gone. This was, I thought, very delicious, very flavorful. Masa can be very dry, but the sauce, if you got the bites of the sauce with it, it was absolutely perfect.
I loved it.
And we'll get to it in a little bit. This was not the best tamale of the day.
Yeah,
shockingly.
That's true.
Let's move on to France in Le Marché de Noël Holiday Kitchen. We did not stop this year for food, but we did rope drop it.
Yes.
And what did we rope drop it for, Rhonda?
The frozen hot chocolate martini, which is a Grey Goose Le Vanilla vodka, chocolate milk, and whipped cream for $13.95. Now, it is hard to say 2 please and it be $27, but
you're going to want one for yourself.
You are. It's
do not share this.
So good. And then, of course, we just started with that, and we didn't really want anything at the moment. I wouldn't mind trying something from here. The roasted ham with mushrooms. I won't eat the pearl onions, but the bacon, mustard sauce, and a puff potatoes. I would like to try that.
That sounds right up your alley. This just came to me, and I meant to say it when we opened this on the food booth about the American holiday table one and the meal that we got there. And I meant to say this earlier. I don't know why it just popped in my head. If you were just, say, from another country and you said, what do the holidays taste like in America?
Yeah.
You would hand them that dish.
Yeah.
And I think it just came up because to me, that sounds like the holidays, and that must be what the holidays are like in France with this roasted ham and, bacon and these puffed potatoes.
Yeah.
So I think that sounds super good. The frozen hot chocolate martini, I think it and the sea butterfly could battle it out for not only best festival drink, but one of the best drinks on all of Walt Disney World property.
Okay.
And yeah. I posted a photo of us in the Day Drinkers Club on Facebook in that group. And I got so many comments like, what is that? Where do I get it? Is that good? Like,
so good.
Also lots of comments on our Be Nice to Cast members holiday edition shirts. You can get those now at mainstreetshirts.com, by the way. All right, let's move on to Mele Kaliki Maka. One of our favorites year after year. It did not disappoint again this year with the Kahlua pork with Okinawa sweet potatoes and mango salad for $5.50.
It was not pretty though.
No, it is one of the ugliest dishes. Yeah.
Like sweet potato. And I was a little hesitant, but it was really good. The flavors were all there. Really good.
And the pork is absolutely outstanding. Super tender, just shredded right apart. That Kahlua pork flavor that you expect with a little bit, you get that hint because, it's normally cooked with banana leaves. I absolutely love this dish. All right, let's go to Noche Bueno Cochina. This was the most shocking booth of the year, I think.
Oh, that's right.
We got the Impossible Chorizo Tamale with plant-based cojita cheese and spicy red chili sauce. This whole booth is new. And then that's for $5.50. And then we got the Pernil, which is a mojo pork with tostones and a ketchup mayonnaise. That is gluten-wheat friendly as well. And then they have the vanilla shortbread cookie with a dulce de leche coconut filling as part of the cookie stroll. Break each of these dishes down. What did you think?
Well, the tamale was really amazing. Like
so good.
All the flavor with that spicy red chili sauce. Holy moly. That was fantastic.
Was this your favorite dish of the day? Because I think it was mine, possibly.
I really still like the other tamale, though.
You like the other tamale better?
Because it was simpler, if that makes sense. Like, there wasn't too many, like, crazy, like...
That makes sense.
What do you call it? Flavors and stuff going on. And it was spicy red chili sauce. So...
That was so good.
I think I like the other one because it wasn't as much, but I did like the chorizo with it, that plant-based, and it's always so good. Impossible is always a good brand.
Yeah.
I really like. So
Agreed.
I really like that.
What'd you think of the pork?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Super flavorful.
Yep.
Again, super tender.
Yep.
This booth to me came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't expect it to be this good. The only thing I don't think was great, and actually it was the only cookie we didn't try yesterday. Rhonda ran right before we hit record, got the cookie, brought it back.
I thought it was good.
I think it. So the cookie
It's a
is
shortbread.
it's a vanilla shortbread
Right.
cookie. I think the cookie's very good, but I completely lost the dulce de leche filling. Like there's
Okay.
barely any of it. I would have liked a little bit of a thicker filling,
Okay.
or just make it an iced cookie as opposed to like a little cookie sandwich, maybe.
Yeah.
But the shortbread is outstanding. I really, really like
Yeah.
that. All right, let's move on to Shanghai Italian Holiday Kitchen. There's no actual Italian word in there, but they are using Italian noodles, I believe. We've done in the past the chicken skewer with the creamy peanut sauce. That's
Yeah.
delicious. This year we tried the 2 new items. One of those being a vegetable spring roll with citrus sauce for $5.25. You got 2 rolls.
Yep.
And then they had a beef and noodle soup bowl with slow braised beef shank, green onion, and house-made chili oil. This is new. This is $9.25.
It's a big bowl.
It's a huge bowl. I will say this is a meal.
Yeah.
What did you think of the actual dish?
Well, it was funny because you took the bite first, and you mentioned something about a spice.
Yeah, there being
And
none.
How there was none, and I remember, and I said, "Well, there was srirachas like just sitting out where I guess you could
Yeah.
squirt some on." So you went back and did that, and then it just seemed to like pull everything together
Yeah.
and make it better. Yeah, it was funny because I thought they were like angel hair noodles, like they were in the past. But then Chuck was eating them. He's like, I don't know. Like it was almost kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
I liked it. The beef was super good. The noodles and the broth together, because I actually at the very end took another couple of bites and then drank some of the juice.
Oh,
broth.
okay. But it had the sriracha in it at that point.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Would I get this again? Absolutely. I just squirt some sriracha in there, and this was really not bad. I mean,
That beef shank was super tender
Yeah,
and delicious,
yeah.
and there are a good couple chunks in there.
Yep. And all you had to do was fork and just tear it
yeah.
apart. It was amazing.
Yeah, fork tender. I think it could be better. I still think it's very good, and I would get it again as well. I just
Yeah.
think it's funny that they seem to be using what really does feel like angel hair pasta as opposed to like a ramen noodle.
Well, and I wonder, like, when we go to Publix here in a little bit, maybe we can look in the aisle, and maybe it does kind of look more
That'd be
like
a good idea. Yeah, looking like the Asian cuisine
'cause it
section and
might
see if there's something
look
very
like
similar.
spaghetti
Yeah,
noodles.
I mean, we might just not know any better. And then
And
I
the
had to get
vegetable spring rolls were really
Oh, they
good,
were.
though.
Yes. Yeah,
I liked them.
they're exactly what you'd expect.
Oh, 100%.
Like, have you ever had a spring roll that you didn't like? You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
I know.
And
I
I
feel
like
like
that
that's
it was
hard
fried.
to ruin.
It's all crunchy, and
Yep.
it was
Citrus
fried
sauce was good.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. I had to get the Kung Fu Master, which is Tito's vodka, triple sec, mango, orange juice, and soda water. This is $14.50. It's a good little, probably I'd say 12-ounce plastic cup that it comes in. I don't think holidays when I think this. Like, I think of sitting on a beach in the sun, like, because it has that very Caribbean flavor actually with the mango and the orange juice, but it's super duper delicious.
This is what I wanted to get, the Marco boba with amaretto,
Yeah.
iced coffee, whole milk, and boba pearls. But at this point, like, I felt like it was kind of midday, so this might be the next time we're there. I might rope drop this one to
And do
get
this one first.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Shiwazu Holiday Kitchen over in Japan. Year after year, we absolutely love the sushi tree. This is a sushi roll with crab meat and cream cheese, topped with tempura, ikura salmon roll, and spicy mayonnaise for $7.50. In the past, we've also really enjoyed the New Year celebration soba, which is buckwheat soba noodles and a hot dashi soup with yuzu, shrimp tempura, kamaboko fish cake, and chopped green onion for $8.50. I want to get that for Kaylin
Yeah.
when we go
So
back,
good.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely love that. Usually the sake every year is very, very good. So I'll usually get that. Tangerine Cafe, Flavors of the Medina. What do we really, really like here? Well, other than everything, but what do they have here that we've had in the past and absolutely love?
The grilled lamb kebabs.
Yes.
Or kebabs.
We usually get the lamb. They have a lamb
Yeah.
version or a chermoula chicken.
Mm-hmm.
What is the other dish here?
So it's almost like a little bread service. It is stone baked Moroccan bread with hummus and 2 other dips. I don't know how to say this.
And you watch them fire bake
Oh yeah, they're
this
amazing.
bread
Yep.
right in front of you, like a naan bread.
Like in a little cutout, like a
Yeah.
hole. It's super
It
cool.
is. Oh my gosh, it is so
Super
stinking
cool.
good there. Tuscany Holiday Kitchen. I promise we will stop here in 2 weeks. We didn't do it. This is Italy. If you've listened to any reviews in the past, we never find Italy very good.
Mhm.
Often all their stuff tastes like it came right out of a can, right out of a jar, right out of the frozen section.
They do have the bread pudding. We'll have to
They
try
do.
that.
They do new item, unlike Mexico, who does new items for every festival, and they're delicious. I feel like they do new items for every festival because they always stink. And what was it?
Just
Touring
sad.
Plans posted it,
Yeah.
and what did they say? It was something like, what did they say? Like small portions, high prices, all terrible.
Yeah.
Something along
Sad.
those lines.
Yep.
So they do have a tortellini. I would say we'd probably try, and then they've got the bread pudding and vanilla cream.
Mhm.
Now, I will say usually their desserts go over pretty well. It's the savory items
Yeah.
that they tend to be very, very lackluster. Let's move on to the Yukon Holiday Kitchen. I love every year the seared scallops with the parsnip, silk,
Mhm.
apple chutney, and a hazelnut croquant. That is absolutely delicious. So is the beef bergeron with crushed potatoes.
Mhm.
What
So
cookie do we
good.
have here, Rhonda, to
The
be part of your cookie stroll?
Snickerdoodle cookie, and
Yeah.
it's made with Snicker bar pieces. I'm not gonna lie, and I will say that last year I feel like there was the cookie was thicker and bigger, and the
actual Snickers
the
pieces were
Snicker
bigger last year. They
pieces
kind of
were
got lost this
bigger.
year, didn't they?
They were a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. This cookie was still good. I ate half of it.
Yeah.
But it did get lost as far as a Snicker goes. But the soft sugar cookie was still there. So
Yeah.
it was good.
I enjoy it. I think it's super good. Anything, and that's another one. Snickerdoodles for me, like they're hard to mess up. Like Snickerdoodles, probably one of my favorite cookies.
Yeah.
I just think they're delicious. So you can also go get, and this is another one of those that I feel like we're saving for the girls, is the funnel cake at the American Adventure. This year it's a mini funnel cake topped with a peppermint ice cream, chocolate whipped cream, and crushed peppermints. That is new this year for $9.50. Joffrey's is going to have some different specialty drinks, including a pass holder exclusive drink, which is the Happy Snowman frozen cocktail. This is frozen lemon and blue caracal flavored syrup, along with a splash of Grey Goose vodka for $13.99. Over at the Refreshment Outpost, this sounds super interesting to me and sounds like something maybe that would be more up your alley. It's a peanut stew with sweet potatoes, mustard greens, and roasted peanuts.
That sounds good.
And that is plant-based. It's gluten and wheat friendly. They have a Dole Whip raspberry there as well. And then you can go over to the refreshment port. You can get yourself a Coquito soft serve waffle cone, or you can get yourself the turkey poutine, which is French fries with turkey gravy, cranberry relish, and crispy onions for $9. We've done this in the past and really, really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's super duper good. Again, it's like holidays in a bowl.
Yep.
All right, Connections Cafe has decided to get in on the holiday sugar cookie stroll
Mhm.
with their holiday sugar cookie for $3.49.
And
How's
that
this?
is, and that's basically at your Starbucks. It's good. It's a beautiful sugar cookie with red and green sprinkles all through it. And of course, it's fantastic. So,
And then let's round out the cookie stroll with Sunshine Seasons. You can say that 5 times fast. The Jingle Sugar Cookie made with M&M's chocolate candies for $3.49.
Yep.
That's
that's another
size of your
large
head.
one. It's another large one. And did you eat some of it?
I had a little bite.
Did
That
you?
thing had like an entire
mean,
bag of M&M's
I
on
just
it.
started to say the beautiful big red and green M&Ms. It was awesome.
I thought this was interesting to include these two, though. Like the one basically at Starbucks, Inside Connections, and then this one here. This was actually a self-serve one that you walked up and got your own little paper wrapper thing, and you got the cookie. But they still stamped you on your at checkout?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure did.
So again, 8 total cookies. Get any 5 of them, and you'll go ahead and get traded in for that holiday. We cannot guarantee the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special pin.
Yeah.
I'm guessing those aren't going to be around very long. That was probably a limited amount, but hopefully, people can still maybe get them this week.
Alex got his. He was very happy.
Yes, yeah. Overall thoughts on this year's International Festival.
They're always
and-
fun. I
yeah,
enjoy it.
overall, where do you rank this festival amongst the 4?
Probably the lowest
Yeah.
because there's not a ton. And then, but probably the lowest on food and stuff. And then I do like the cookies and I do like things like that, but I've steered away from sweets that now when I eat too much, I'm just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
We did stop and it is not on the cookie stroll and it is not on.
Oh, it should be on the cookie stroll.
It should be, but it is in the caramel couche. They do have back the gingerbread,
Oh, God, it's
salted
so good.
caramel cookie
With buttercream
sandwich.
filling. Yeah.
So
that
good.
thing is so
stinking good.
stinking good.
I had to get that. So anyways, I would probably round it out as number 1 for drinks for me because of how, you got some eggnog, you got some hot chocolates, you've got, they have more where they do use liquor instead of all the wines and the beers. And I just love this kind of year drinks. So that's probably what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'd put it in 4th place as well. And that's not a knock against it. It's just there happens to be 3 better overall festivals, I think.
Right.
One thing I've said year after year, I said it again yesterday, is I want to know for this festival specifically, like Olaf's holiday traditions, right? I want to know at each of the booths why they're serving that. Like I want a backstory about tamales and Christmas in Mexico.
Well,
or pastrami and
Allie
the Jewish culture.
Told us, so it was super cool.
But I think it'd be neat if they gave a little handout, like a little card or something that like
Do you really
told
think
you
people
that.
would read it?
I would.
I know you would.
That's all that matters.
Well, okay.
We also got kind of an unexpected surprise that I did not know he was doing Candlelight Processional until honestly the night before.
Mm-hmm.
We went. And we thought, let's try and make it a point. We know we're going to see Josh Gad in 2 weeks. We would like to take the girls on Christmas Eve. But Simu Liu, I believe I'm saying that properly, Mr. Shang-Chi himself, was doing the processional, and we got to see him. How was that?
It was really neat. We were in the very back, which was fine. But yeah, it was super cool. It's always amazing to hear the story. I love it. And then, of course, the singing of everybody. So yeah, I
mean, I think, and even if you're not religious or anything, I still think it's an absolutely wonderful piece of entertainment that everybody should check out. We got very lucky that we got into the second showing. We were sat in the very, very back, but there's never a guarantee, especially as you get to some of the bigger names, the Josh Gads and the Neil Patrick Harris and Angela Bassett and, some of these bigger names. Highly recommend looking at doing a dining package. We're going to do Garden Grill for lunch on the Josh Gad day. I am too.
Because it's like Allie and Chuck have eaten there and they're super excited for us. And we were in the land for the sunshine seasons.
I love the Living with the Land holiday overlay.
Oh yeah,
so good.
We did do that.
Make sure you check out Living with the Land during the holidays.
That's neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super fun because we did that. But when we were in there, we saw Garden Grill, and then like it was so funny because they were like, wear pants that you can stretch and we're like, well, we don't eat breakfast. So good news is we have like, what'd you say, a 140?
140. I mean, and that will be our meal of the day.
It will. And I like eating like that and eating like a lot.
Yeah.
Because we're still walking around. And then I'm done. Like, I mean, just like Thanksgiving, basically.
Right.
We're eating around 1:30, 2-ish.
Yeah, and you're kind of done for the day.
I'm done. Like that, this past Thanksgiving, we ate. And then I had dessert, and then I was done.
Yeah,
and I didn't eat anything else the rest of the night.
Well, and for this day, I mean, we'll eat that larger lunch at 1:40. We're going to go back to the room to change and all for Josh Gad. We have the last showing of Josh Gad at 8:30. So there will be time prior that if we go, oh, you know what? Maybe I am a little hungry for a snack. Let's hit a couple of these booths, for some small dishes. But, I International Festival of the Holidays is the most overlooked festival. I think it is outshined by Food and Wine and Flower and Garden. Festival of the Arts is getting better and better. But this is a wonderful festival. And just there's nothing like Christmas time in the parks.
Oh, of course.
And EPCOT, of course, does a wonderful job with it as well.
Yep.
So highly recommend you come and check this out if you can. You only got about a month or so to do it. So go ahead and get down there or make plans if you've already got, a trip to Disney scheduled to go ahead and enjoy some of these booths and some of the entertainment and the offerings that they have, because it really is wonderful.
Yes.
And then if you want to check this type of stuff out while we're in the parks, you can join Wonderland Crew at wonderlandcrew.com. mainstreetmagic.com. That is our Patreon group. And we live stream all types of goodness and do some at-home cooking and movie watching and mocktails and all kinds of fun stuff. So wonderlandcrew.com, you can check that out. mainstreetshirts.com, you can check the new Be Nice to Cast members holiday edition, along with all other kinds of
Super
designs. And then finally, hit that subscribe button, get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, and we would be so very, very thankful if you would leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
Well, that's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.